Hey, Maria, back with another video. I just got back from lunch. I decided to take myself out today just to grab something to eat. I didn't get very much, but I had my food and then I came home. So I just had to get out of the house for just a few minutes. And I'm glad that I did because, it kind of cleared my head. So I was thinking today about, I want to follow up on that video that I made about the 4 obese women, and they know who they are. But anyway, I wanted to do some clarifications about some things because I don't want people to think that I have something against people who are struggling with their weight, because I will say that in my experience with those people and a few other people that I can mention that are really not really involved directly in this whole issue that I've dealt with in the past who have a certain attitude about their insecurity or their struggle or whatever, and so they kind of take it out on people who they feel envious towards. Okay, so that's where the issue comes from. Okay, I'm not saying every single last person who struggles with their weight is this, and this, but I will say that in the past I've struggled with my weight, and I think that there's reasons for that. Okay, just like most of the people I mentioned in my video yesterday that there was a time where there was very few obese children, and now we see this huge massive amount of people in general who are overweight, whereas before that was not the case. So there's causes for that, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that many of us aren't eating at home anymore. Okay, we don't have like home cooked foods that are wholesome. I mean, when I say wholesome, I'm talking about things that are fresh, things that are not canned and packed with preservatives. A lot of people eat out at fast food places, and all those foods, those canned goods, some of the frozen dinners, and eating out and whatnot. A lot of those are packed with, hormones, additives, preservatives that are creating a chemical in your body that is making you crave the things that you do. So I'm not blaming people who are overweight. It's a phenomenon, I will tell you that, because it was not always like that. It's the foods that people are consuming that it's making them that way, as well as some of the medical prescriptions that they're taking create this particular yeast in your stomach that basically makes you want to eat everything that you see in your face. So it has a lot to do with that. Okay, now I know a few years ago Samantha Britt got herself in a lot of trouble because she had to spew out a universal truth. Okay, she did say a universal truth, and a lot of people got angry with her. She was basically saying that she struggles with people treating her, a certain way because people perceive her to be attractive. Okay, she's not telling a lie on that. Okay, a few years after that, she followed up and she said something along the lines of fat is the biggest sign of failure. And I like Samantha Britt. Okay, I really have to say that I admired her for her first comment, because what she's saying is true. Women can be catty. Okay, they can be. All right, but I don't agree with the fact or her belief that fat people are failures, simply because the reason why we have the obesity problem that we have is because of the foods that people are eating from the time, and they have no idea what these foods are doing to them, as well as the prescription drugs that they're taking. Now, I'm not saying that you should forgo medical care if you need it. I personally don't go to the doctor. Okay, I don't like going to the doctors unless, of course, I had to. Okay, like I had a broken bone or something like that. But I don't like dealing with doctors. I don't have a lot of faith in the medical industry. If you want any questions, when they ask me why, you can call up and ask me why and thing, but I'm not going to go into it right now. But, the prescription drugs a lot of times, and a lot of people have been taking prescription drugs since they were children, okay? So this is the reason why we have so many people who are running around in extreme, overweight, okay? So those are the causes, okay? Now, my issue is the behavior of some of these people that I've had to deal with, okay? Now, when I'm sitting here talking about how I'm raging about my issues with overweight people, I'm specifically referring to the fucking bitches that got involved with my shit and were wreaking havoc in my life, okay? I didn't appreciate that, okay? And the motive behind it was obvious, okay? So I don't appreciate that, okay? I don't like the attitude, okay? I don't like the, well, I'm this way, so then you have to be this way. And I'm going to wreak havoc in your life until you, you know, make yourself as miserable as I am. That is what I resent. That is what I don't like, and that's the biggest issue. Okay. Now I can look back in my past and okay, you know, there were some little sweet old ladies, you know, that were, you know, would be nice to me, that were overweight when I was growing up or whatever. But I'm talking about my experience with these particular people. Okay. Every action, like, you know, they had no reason to treat me the way that they did. Okay, but we know why they did, okay? They treated me, I was really nice with no, you know, I'm a nice person and I'm extremely accommodating, okay? So I understand people have, you know, their schedules and whatever. If you needed a ride, I'll give you a ride, whatever, you know. I can't understand that sort of nitpicking, backstabbing behavior, especially when I've done nothing to these people to deserve it. But yet they're going to turn around and talk about me and this sort of sabotage type stuff. So it's the behavior of certain people because they're in the situation that they're in and how they deal with it. That I have a problem with. Now, when it comes to the solution of the problem with obesity, I think you know, people should seek out the kind of nutritionalists that can guide them in the proper direction. Okay, not everybody's body is the same. Not everybody has the same makeup. That's why, you know, some people are vegetarians and some people are meat eaters. Okay, of course there's different forms of vegetarianism. I mean, some vegetarians are very spiritual. Okay, they don't want to consume an animal. Okay, because they recognize that as life. Okay, and some people just don't want to eat an animal. They just think it's weird. Okay, there's all kinds of reasons why people are vegetarians. But whatever the case is, some people are going to be better on a vegetarian diet. Some people are going to be better on a meat diet. Some people are better off blending the two. Okay, but you need to talk to a nutritionist before you go further in whatever kind of weight loss plan you're looking for. And I do think that, you know, people who are struggling with their weight, they do have a responsibility to their children because their children didn't ask to be brought into this world. They had no, you know, choice in the matter. And oftentimes, you know, some people do have very bad eating habits. And when I'm saying that, what I mean by that is, you know, I know when I was younger, I used to eat chocolate and shit like that for breakfast. I'm serious, okay? And Coca-Cola or Squirt soda or some bullshit like that. I used to do that shit like all the time. I ate a lot of candy. I was the queen of junk food. I did all of that. But you know, but that was part of my environment. And I will say that there's people who have a fat attitude, and what I mean by fat attitude is I'm referring to jealous, manipulative, conniving, backstabbing, I mean, you name it, that's them, okay? And their anger and resentment towards themselves, they want to project that on other people, okay? And then there's people who are infected by that sort of behavior or that sort of environment. And I personally believe that when I was younger, I was affected by it, okay? Like, for example, every time I tried to make a positive change in my life, I had somebody in my family sabotage it, okay? When I would go to work at certain times, you know, I remember, you know, if people know that you're trying to lose weight, well, then they suddenly want to bake a cake and insist that you have that slice, okay? And I will tell you that that is the problem with a lot of people. They want to do good for themselves, but unfortunately they're being controlled by other people who are bringing them down. In that case, I personally look at these people as infected. They know that what's good for them. They want desperately to take care of themselves, but they're constantly being controlled, manipulated, and bullied by people who have their own agendas, okay? So there's a difference, and there's an attitude difference too. You know, whereas like the women who got involved in my issues, you know, the ones I'm referring to in the last videos, these people had a wicked spirit. I believe that they were wicked, and I can't find any redeeming quality in them at all, period. Okay, just have based up their behavior and what they've done. Okay, unjustifiably. But people who are infected have a different attitude. I mean, they still have more compassion. They're still caring. but yet they still have a struggle with this problem, which is obesity. Okay, so it's an attitude problem. Okay, those who project negativity, I have a problem with. Okay, and in the last few years, seeing as how I've been going to work and coming home, those are the only people I've been dealing with. So those particular people who are overweight are fucking monsters, and that's what I'm talking about. And I will say that my issue with my family, you know, their belief and their acceptance of being overweight, you know, it didn't allow much for me to make any self-improvements growing up in that house. So I will tell you that I was infected for very many years, okay, very many years. So anyway, I hope that I provided some clarification and that it makes sense, you know. I do believe that there is a big problem with it, and I don't necessarily believe that it is, you know, a failure as more than it is a matter of ignorance and not knowing exactly what the foods that you're consuming are doing to you, and the things that you're putting in your body are doing to you. And it's creating an addiction that's making you eat those things. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I will be back with another one later. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.